What is up, everybody? We are back, and as you can tell, it is finally here, the most prestigious night in all of Twitch and sports entertainment, of course, as the two sweeties have finally arrived. 15 electric categories, the first ever Hall of Fame induction, and of course, most importantly, we honor all that is Too Sweet. Welcome to the first annual Two Sweeties. Welcome in, everybody. Yes, indeed, we are here. The pomp and circumstance that can only come with an award ceremony, the level, the prestige of the Two Sweeties here. It's been an incredible year. I want to thank you guys first and foremost for not only voting, but of course being a part of this wild ride, the roller coasters, ups and downs that has been TSW year one. Of course, we are just days away from the debut of TSW year two. It's a lot of oohs and ooh-wah. We got a big day to dive into here. We mentioned 15 categories you guys voted on, a lot of really close votes and a few that weren't remotely close, and of course we'll break down our first ever Hall of Fame induction here in TSW. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get into these votes. Let's check this thing out. First up, a category near and dear to my heart, the Cruiserweight of the Year. And there it is, with a nearly landslide victory here, 64.5% of those votes going to LBJ. Clap in second place, and otherwise, I mean, not too close at all here. I think LBJ really captured the heart of the Cruiserweight division as being, not the first champ, but I think really the first champ to cement this division as being truly one of the best here in TSW. So big shout out to LBJ. But I gotta tell you, as you guys know, reigning defending Cruiserweight champion JG after 603 Mania, and you better believe that I hope to be this very category next year. But we're talking about the little daddios. Let's talk about the big daddios. It's gonna be who else but Thick Ched, aka King Ched. I gotta say, this was an interesting vote, interesting breakdown, but yes, indeed, with 41.9%, our Thick Ched will be your BMI of the year. Very close, by the way, 32.3 there for Landmark, right on the outside looking in, but indeed, Ched, we talk about this guy, we talk about well-rounded athletes here in TSW, and I think Ched really does do it all, really captured the hearts in the early days of TSW. Mentioned kind of a bit of that with Landmark. Of course, Ched, the inaugural BMI champion, really cementing that division in a big way. Of course, would be heavyweight champion. King of the Ring, great year for Ched. Great spot here in the Two Sweeties. Two electric categories out the gate. Who's going to be most improved, though? And it's going to, of course, be none other than PA Tony. I think this one, maybe you could argue a little bit of controversy. 35% of the votes, edging out Shrades is 29%. Now, the first one where I'm like, a little bit of controversy, only because, I think Tony had a really good night at 603 Mania. I don't know if that's enough to be most improved. Is one night enough? I don't know. Shrades, long reign of hardcore champion. I got much love for Shrades, so we'll see how things go into the new year. But Tony goes in with 2 belts and a Two Sweetie award on his side, ladies and gentlemen. Big news there for one Tony. Manager of the year, folks. Honestly, not too close a one, although you did notice Dargon on the voting a little bit. Hey, nudge, nudge, by the way, on a couple of his categories. But I will say, I think this is the right choice. I think Dargon really the only one who fit in terms of the high end. I mean, sir, managed big time to some great title wins, but also some title loss. I think Dargon out here is kind of synonymous with a managerial role in 2K24, but you better believe in 2K25, things are going to shift a little bit as we see more and more wrestlers take a managerial role. We'll see more factions sprout up, and we talked about Dargon maybe kind of edging some votes here. Did it again here with the channel points. I don't even know why the channel points are mentioned here, but we did get most hyped match under my mug here. We got Dargon and Brandon with the votes. And by the way, on the manager, no one else really remotely close. Sir with 19.3. But we got Dargon versus Brandon. You think about, forget the channel points mentioned there. I think about the shit talk across platforms, what I think really put this match over the edge. Because, I think on paper, to me, I think the Brandon versus Landmark trilogy was well built. I mean, I, of course, would say the TSW versus Apocalypse situation, because, a little bit biased here. But I gotta say, man, these guys are talking crap across every single platform imaginable. I think that really built this this match to be a little bit next level. And I think the bets did indeed reflect that. But it was kind of a three-way tie for second place here. 22.6 for both Apocalypse, CSW, and Brandon versus Landmark, and Boxy versus AJ right behind that as well with fantastic promos. But yeah, congrats there to Brandon and Dargon. Well done there. A couple big votes there early on, but moving right along here, guys, to the match of the year. Most hyped match? What is the best match? Controversy, maybe? Let's talk about it. We're gonna talk the Royal Rumble here. I think Royal Rumble, absolutely the easiest, best answer. It was an hour. It was electric. A lot of ins and outs, guys flying around. Maybe the easy vote. Level with you there, but I think it was the right vote nonetheless. Now, I would have gone Brandon versus Landmark inside Hell in a Cell. I think that match was absolutely incredible, of course, with the last-minute comeback, but we are talking the Royal Rumble, the grandness that is that stipulation. Now maybe next year we keep out the Rumble, only because I do think when I added this to the brand, like, this is going to be the easy winner. It's going to be the easy winner. It's so much fun. We love the Royal Rumble. Also, big shout, a couple write-ins there as well with the Dargon versus Brandon 603 Mania match, as well as the main event Fatal 4-Way, which also got the most hyped of the year for write-ins as well. Again, we're going to break down every single number we go through, but by the way, the Rumble getting 35.5% to Brandon Landmark's 25.8. Of course, some honorable mentions there to the tag match and Shed versus Animal, but I tell you what, match of the year, that was definitely electric. I would love to do the Royal Rumble more often, but I want to keep that 30-man a little bit more special. And talk about special, we talk about the pay-per-view of the year, the show of the year. Is it going to have the match of the year? I don't think so. We're talking 603 Mania, of course, with a landslide 84 near percent, Rumble right behind it with 12.9. Got a vote for No Mercy as well, which of course is that classic Brandon Landmark showing. But it's 603 Mania. The grandest show should be the pay-per-view of the year. I'll be honest, if this show wasn't and it lost the Rumble, I would have been okay with it. But I think it just goes to show that 603 Mania was absolutely electric start to finish with some great results, great matches, great build. Really an electric show there. And talk about electric shows, great shows. You talk about entrances as well. And I think this pay-per-view had a couple contenders for entrance of the year. I truly do believe that. I think Team America had a great entrance there. We talk about Dargon with the big broadsword, but I think there's one clear winner to me. And that's going to be Darth AJ. I don't have the Darth AJ render here, but we're talking a decent head of the votes. Just edged out LBJ's King of the Ring lifted stage. I do think the one that affects that is LB did come out with that entrance a couple times, but man, I tell you what, the Darth AJ really stole this show. The pomp and circumstance we mentioned with the award show, mentioned it with that damn entrance, absolutely electric. Congratulations to entrance of the year, Darth AJ. Again, edges out LBJ. No one else really in striking distance there, but by the way, worth mentioning, we know AJ will face Boxy for the Universal title in a rematch in the debut episode of TSW Thursday Throwdown, day one, as you might call it. Well, breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, we have the stipulation in that match. We're gonna see AJ versus Boxy. Last man standing, ladies and gentlemen. Who will win the Battle of the Dutch? Will we see a rematch a third time? Will we see a two-time Universal Champion in Boxy, or will the first ever two-time champion AJ keep things rolling? Oh, how we're gonna find out. And something that really built up that AJ Boxy match, we're talking the promos, baby, promo of the year. I tell you what, I'm not surprised to see how this one went, but another one where selfishly I would have liked to see it go the other way. We're talking the one, the only, the thickest, it shattered Adios, 41.9 votes. One vote between first and second. Second, of course, being JG the Kidnap promo, aka the long-running Apocalypse storyline. And I do believe this is certainly Ched's second win. Is this Ched's second win? Second win here on the night, of course. BMI and promo of the year. Two-time winner. Second two-time winner, as I believe Dargon also saw himself twice. So far, so good. But I tell you what, I'm excited to see what Ched brings to the table in the new year, right? Where does he go with this promo? What's the next step here for Ched? Where the fuck can you go? Where the fuck can he go? What the fuck happened in TSW this year? We're talking the WTF moment of the year. And this is one where I think it could have gone literally anywhere. I mean, I think we talk about the collapse in his way, the JG getting kidnapped, the Dargon triple entry. These were all absolutely legendary moments. But again, it goes to show you that sometimes it's not the best, well thought out moment. It's the moment that does make you go, what the fuck? As Dargon's triple entry into the Rumble is going to take the win here. He does edge out evenly. Clap and old JG, we got swept. We got swept out this thing. I don't like it. But congratulations, Dargon, with a third victory here. A third victory in the Slammies. Of course, manager of the year, as well as the what the fuck moment of the year. Didn't he have a third? Oh yeah, the most hyped. I apologize to our sweet Dargon, but not only holding down the graphics here, but a 3-time Slammy winner. Only 3-time Slammy winner here. Or two sweetie. Oh boy. We didn't slam anything. It's only sweetness. It's only sweets. It's only sweets. But I'm excited to see what takes this category next year, because we're certainly not going to see a triple entry again. So it's going to be really fun to see how this goes. Now, it's going to get a little bit dicey in the channel as we get to the top awards. Tag team of the year. Maybe one of the tightest races mentally and physically. Tag team of the year. We're gonna go the Disciples, 32% here, barely edging out the Founding Fathers by a single vote, 2 votes above the Cuckoodle Dudes and DJ and Swanee. And this could really not have been much closer. I think whether it be a write-in potentially not happening or even a changed vote higher, we could have seen a tie in this category. Disciples, won't see them tagged again, but they've certainly cemented their place in history. 2K24 TSW Year 1 Tag Team of the Year. And again, it worked out well with the 31 votes, kind of got some tiebreakers, because we needed tiebreakers for a lot of these. You know where we didn't need a tiebreaker? Women's Wrestler of the Year, and it was not even remotely close. We're going to level with you guys. 84, that's insane. That is absolutely insane. I believe that ended up being 26 votes. I believe that was 26 votes. We had 2 to Bama, 1 to Miss Hoodat, 1 to Huggies. Not even a write-in, well, to be fair, unless I guess you could have written in Jen or Miss JG. It would have been nice for me. I would have liked that. But of course, Steph, just start to finish, the best of the best, dominant title reigns, open challenge to start the year. I'm just seeing how that thing shakes out. But man, I tell you what, this has been the only one where I think there was no questions asked. I think we all went to this going, yeah, that's Steph's category, 100%. Just absolute dominance. And another one that came down to just 1 vote, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking feud of the year, blood boiling, tensions percolating. And we have our feud of the year, 1 vote difference. Again, it's going to be Brandon versus Landmark. To me, I think that was the choice. Their trilogy of matches, truly some of the best we've seen in TSW. Got a little heated verbally, but this is one that I really thought was carried by the matches and the natural storytelling, which really made it stand out for me as well. But of course, second place would be the Dargon versus Brandon. I think that does reflect the most hyped match. Again, we talk about the shit talking that went on between those two. People thought it was real. That's how bad things got between those two. People were like, is this actually happening? This is actually happening. And there's also news, this is the most write-ins here. That said 4 write-ins. So we had 8 possible options there. And I think it just goes to show you that a lot of people were really locked into a lot of feuds. By the way, 3rd place on the votes was Raw versus DJ. I do think that maybe could have gone a little bit higher, but of course that was really an earlier rivalry where I think DJ won that rivalry arguably pretty handedly in ring. And now when we're talking in ring, we talk feud of the year, pay-per-view of the year. What about this guy? What about the title of the year? A lot of belts were incredibly defended, fought for. The Universal, the Heavyweight, the Cruiser, the BMI. I mean, all these titles, tooth and nail. But only one stands out for the TSW universe, and I don't think I disagree here. Title of the year is the 24/7 Southern European Hardcore Championship. I don't think I disagree. This title was defended every single show. There was never a single show where you didn't go, man, that hardcore match. Always on top of the mind. Some of the best wrestlers we saw in TSW holding this title. We talk about Shrades, we talk about Roldy. Of course, we talk about a guy like Boxy, who certainly has a great shot at this upcoming category. We are talking Wrestler of the Year. I have no doubt in my mind that this is the category we all showed up for, what we all waited for, watched for, and I'll be the first to tell you, there was a glaring omission from the voting, and I tell you what, a write-in was within the top 3, at the very least. That is big news, ladies and gentlemen. That is big news. Who has been crowned, though? Wrestler of the Year. Will it mirror some other categories? Spoiler, it absolutely does. As our Wrestler of the Year, Year 1, is going to be the one and only thickest of cheddar daddy-o. I gotta say, I can't complain on this one right here. When you think about encompassing everything that is TSW in ring, out of ring, the promos, both visually, verbally, and, TikToks and comments, and Ched truly encompasses everything. That is TSW. And this one was a fascinating breakdown. One vote between first and second. And that one vote was Boxy. Boxy nearly Wrestler of the Year, ladies and gentlemen. Nearly. Just nearly. Now, the one thing that made it oh so close were these write-ins. Of course, we did mess up. No offense to Animal. Animal should not have been on there. That should have been Landmark. Landmark, of course, tag champ, Mr. Money in the Bank, 2-time BMI, heavyweight champion. And to me, I can't know for sure. I think if I had him on the official bracket and I didn't fuck that up, I think he wins this. Instead, rolls into just barely into third, 2 votes up from the top, which means Landmark closed out of the 2 sweeties. Low-key disrespectful, low-key, but you better believe a revenge tour is coming as Landmark looks to win back his heavyweight championship this Thursday, April 3rd, main event of TSW Thursday Throwdown, Day 1 edition. Heavyweight title on the line, and that is going to be inside Hell in a Cell. But we can't have a one fall. There will be no questions of who is the true champion. 2 out of 3 falls. Raw versus Landmark to see who is heavyweight champion. But by the way, Raw tied for last in votes here. Tied for last with Animal. Both had the same amount of votes. What a world we live in. What a world indeed. But of course, we've mentioned all that greatness of the voting, but we have to touch on the Hall of Fame induction. And I tell you what, after a video a day like this, you gotta get my Rogue Energy Hydration Needs JG 603, 20% off, baby. But let's talk the Hall of Fame. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, Year 1, a little early for a Hall of Fame, certainly. But you look at this year alone, I'm a level with you. I'm just looking at it, I'm like, man, Ched could easily get in there. Dargon, not only in-ring, but contributor. I mean, first and foremost, every single thumbnail and is him, so that's immediately fantastic, right? But when we talk about the 2 Sweet Hall of Fame, we talk about TSW in general, there's really only one man who deserves to be the inaugural induction, and that, ladies and gentlemen, it's JG603. Of course it is. There's no TSW without your boy. The commentary, the creation, the stream, the channel you're watching all of it on. I know it's a bit of a cop-out, but the first Hall of Fame induction, it's going to be your boy. Now, next year, we're going to expand things a little bit, but JG as a contributor, that should be worth noting. The contributor category is our first inductee. If we're going to start Hall of Fame, we got to start with the man who damn runs the show, right? We got to. But, man, I mentioned it. Watch out next year, a Dargon, a Ched, great eyes on that. What happens with Boxy? What happens with the Landmark this year? Raw, among many others who had great years this year. You put together 2 great years, and I got my eyes on you to be enshrined in the Hall of the Immortals that is the TSW Hall of Fame. But, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, that's all we had for you here today. This is officially it. closing the chapter on 2K24. We'll of course touch on some of the past title reigns and the future rankings in the future Buckeyes. We are just a few days away from the debut of 2K25. Loaded show, 10, 11, maybe 12 matches. Who could possibly know? But make sure you guys swing through for that. Check me out live on Twitch, JG603. Over here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, notification, activate all that good stuff. Until then, y'all been the best. Y'all been too sweet. And I'll see you next time. Woo. Appreciate you, baby. Let's get it.